All right, we're going to take over with week 10 of the curriculum, which is a standing guard break and 2 ways to pass the guard from the staple position. In my opinion, this is probably the preferred way to break the guard from anyone who's a competitor. It's possible to break from the kneeling position, but it's difficult. It takes forever, and if your partner has good hips, it can be just really difficult to generate the distance that you need to open their ankles. Okay, and so it's, I think, better to do a standing guard break against a tough opponent, and it's much better if you're dealing with time pressure, which in competition you typically are. Okay. It's also a much more powerful way to break the guard because I have all of gravity on my side. My partner is lifted off the mat, and so essentially their ankles, the strength of their ankles and their feet is supporting most of their body weight. Maybe they have their head and shoulders on the mat, okay? But it gives me quite a bit of a head start versus trying to break the guard on the feet. So I begin with a double lapel grip, okay? I'll like wind myself into the lapels a little bit, and I'm posting my arm kind of just below my partner's sternum. I'm not necessarily locking this arm out, but it's gotta be fairly strong to resist either my partner sitting up into me or pulling me down into him, okay? So this is essentially a post that stops both of those motions. My offhand, so I'm right-handed, it's the right hand grip on the collars. My left hand is gonna grab my partner's sleeve, and I pull it onto his body, okay? And that allows me to stand up left leg first, because now my partner no longer has a hand on that side to grab my leg with. Okay, now I stand all the way up with my other leg, okay? And you'll notice I'm kind of in like a squatting position. I should be in an athletic posture here. My bend shouldn't be all at the waist, okay? It's evenly distributed for my knees and my waist. And now I wanna stand tall as I can. I tuck my elbow inside my partner's thigh. Okay, my other hand just comes to my partner's knee. I'm gonna push it directly down and take little steps back with my right leg. Okay, as soon as the leg drops below the line of my knee, I'm gonna kneel over it, okay? My other leg stays up, okay? And we'll talk about completing the pass in a moment, but we're gonna finish the guard break right here. Collect the sleeve. Obviously, I'm only grabbing one of my partner's arms, and so after I stand up, he can grab my leg on this side, but it's not really as big a deal if my partner grabs my leg after I'm up, okay? However, it's kind of a disaster if I let my partner prop my leg up on his shoulder before I've gotten my way up. So if I maybe get dyslexic and I go over here, but then I start passing this way, if my partner props my leg up on his shoulder, I have really big problems at this point. My partner has, this arm is in danger, right? He's like close to an arm bar. If you can re-grip, pull my arm in, yep, there's that, okay? If he's just able to hold my sleeve, well, then there's a sweep here, okay? Yeah, that's a problem. There's the sweep there, and if I'm able to free my hand and post, so if he goes to sweep to the side and I free my hand and post, well, now he can withdraw his leg under this leg under, it goes under, and he can triangle, okay? That's a problem. So, okay, and then there's also a sweep to this far side as well, another sweep to the mount, okay? So that's a really dangerous position to end up in, okay? So it's very important that you protect your partner from grabbing the first leg that you stand with, because if your partner gets under that leg, it can cause a lot of problems, okay? So double lapel grip, sleeve grip, stand up, okay? And just have a nice athletic posture the whole way. I wanna stand as tall as I can, because the taller I get, the more Conan is supporting his weight with like the back of his head, okay? But the lower I am, the more weight he's supporting on his shoulders, and the harder I have to work to break. So I stand as tall as I can, push the knee down, take little steps back. As soon as his knee drops below, or his thigh drops below the line of my knee, I staple it to the mat, okay? I wanna have some distance between my knee and his body. I'm not really close here because it'll make me unstable that way. So my knee is open wide, okay? This leg hasn't really moved. It stays up pretty high, and I put my body down in front of my partner's thigh, okay? And we'll finish the pass, or we'll finish the guard break here, okay? Now, once I make it to this position, there's several different ways that we can advance past the legs, and we're gonna look at 2 of them. The first thing is, it's really important that my rib cage and arm are positioned in front of my partner's thigh, okay? I kind of need to block him out of being able to return this leg in front of me, okay? And I just do that with my elbow and my rib cage, okay? If I'm too high, my partner can get this knee in front of me, and now he's got this really strong really strong obstacle in my way for the guard pass, and now I have to redirect way around the outside. Okay, so I need to block my partner's leg from doing any work with my rib cage and my arm. Okay, so I'm just staying low and in front of it. Okay, and then my back leg here, or my down leg, let's say, staples his knee to the mat. Okay, my staple is low on his leg, so my toes are on the mat, almost behind his knee, and I put him right under my ankle. So it's fairly, he's in the big gap under my leg. Okay, my knee is on the floor away from my partner. If I'm too close here, it makes me unstable, and I try to go to the pass, but I don't have good base to this side, and so he might be able to unbalance me. Okay, so my knee stays wide. Now, from here, what I want to do is I stay low and I want to shoot to head and arm control. So the side where my leg is up, I'm looking for an underhook, and on the other side, I'm under my partner's head. Okay, and I'm going to put my hands together. Now what I want to do is thread my left leg through the hole, over my partner's thigh, ideally above my foot, and I put my knee on the mat. It's almost like I'm doing an X guard on my partner's thigh. Okay, and now my right foot comes out, and I'm gonna essentially be leaving only my knee, but none of my lower leg in my partner's guard. And then I can put my toes to the mat and just jump my knee over his thigh, and now I'm into side control. Lapel grip, sleeve grip, stand. Okay, stand tall, elbow inside, knee push. Okay, staple my partner to the mat, land nice and low so that I block his other leg out of the action. Go forward, get my head and arm control. Okay, now my preferred way to pass here is left foot comes over, goes above my other foot onto my partner's thigh. So I'm just doing an X guard almost on his leg. Outside leg hops out, and now look, I continue to hold his thigh, put my toes on the ground, and put my knee over his thigh. And now I can settle into a nice tight side control. The one thing that's difficult about that is it does require some hip mobility as I thread my foot through over my partner's thigh. So I want to show two alternate ways to navigate past the guard. So once I make it to the staple position, okay, if you can't quite thread your foot above my foot that's already here, I'll just cross my feet. So I'll put my knee down and I'll just do this. This isn't quite as secure, but it's close. Now I take this leg out, grab his thigh, okay, and now this foot comes to the mat, pop my knee over his thigh, and here I am in side control. On both of these variations, it's important that both of my legs are above my partner's knee. Okay, if either of my legs slip below his knee, then he's going to have a much better chance of replacing half guard on me. So I want to make sure that both legs are above the line of my partner's knee. If I'm doing this, then what's going to happen is as I take this leg out, my partner's going to be able to tie me up in half guard over here, and I won't be able to complete the pass. So it's important that both legs stay above the line of my partner's knee the whole time, either this way or this way. Okay? If neither of those feels comfortable to you, if you can't keep both legs above your partner's knee, then we're going to go for a long step finish to this pass. So after I've landed in this passing position and I get here, okay, instead of going hand to hand, I'll like grab my partner's sleeve, gi at his shoulder. This hand is going to come back and I'm going to underhook his thigh, and now I'm going to do a big back step. So my left leg is going to jump through the air, and I'm going to land on my far side hip. Okay, and I maintain my hook behind my partner's thigh. Okay, so that as I take my hook out, okay, so I take it out when I'm ready to push his hips to the far side with my left arm. So I push his hips, take my leg out, set my hip or my knee on his hip, and settle into side control. Okay, so by doing it that way, I can keep my partner's hips, legs corralled while I try to get myself all the way to side control. So I go low, but I go a little shallower than the last two variations. I just grab the gi at his shoulder, okay, my hand comes back, and I go under his leg, and now I take a big back step, okay, and I'm landing here. Foot stomps on the mat for stability, and my hook still controls my partner's leg. Okay, if I take this off, then as I'm coming up the side control, my partner's going to be trying to put his knee in and to recover guard. So I want to avoid that. Okay, so I make my hook and I keep it the whole time. And what I'm going to do is this hand is going to punch to the far side as I take this out, so that as soon as I make some space here, I'm going to put my partner's legs so they point away from me, and it makes it more difficult for opponent to recover the guard. So I take my leg out and push, and at the same time that I turn his hips, I put my knee back on his hips, ideally suck up the space under his arm, and then I can get back to
a nice strong side control.